I hope you are well today. Today's video is what driving lessons and failing my first driving test taught me about myself. These things I already knew, to be honest with you, but it was just a reminder and something that made it more apparent, like Charla, like these things in particular, you need to work on. So what held me back from driving, first of all, is fear and convenience. The reason why I say convenience is because living in London, I mean, we've now been living in the countryside for like 2 years, but living in London, bus, train, Uber, whatever, literally as soon as we stepped outside of our flat, all of the transport was there. So for me as a non-driver, it wasn't the greatest motivation to drive, if you know what I mean. Yes, sometimes the bus is smelly and the train and you get random people, but I was willing to do that because I just had all the convenience of travel there. And fear, because I've always been quite a fretful person, which I really, really want to work on. I'm a Christian. I know I must have faith, but there's this part of me that still struggles with fretfulness and fear. And I know it's not good enough for me to thrive in my relationship with God and just in life opportunities. I definitely want to get over that fretfulness. So that's what's held me back from driving, fear and convenience. Now, what did the driving lessons show me that I need to work on in myself? The first thing is what I mentioned, is the fear. You know, I recently I had a few lessons before, and a few weeks ago I did an intensive driving lessons. So it was 7 days of driving for 4 hours. And I know I'm intelligent, I have the skill, but the thing that stopped me from locking in those skills the most was the fretfulness, I'm in a car, I could cause a crash, or someone's going to crash into me. Like, sometimes I've just had thoughts of mad things happening even before I was driving, like, oh, what if I drive and I drive off a cliff? You know, all these things. I have been in a car accident years ago, so I don't know if that contributed to it. I mean, the car was written off, but all of us survived. But maybe that could have contributed to it. I mean, being in a car accident doesn't help a fretful person anyway. But it's not like something that I'm always dwelling on. It's just that, oh, wow, this huge responsibility of driving. So for me, it just showed me, like, Charlie, you really, really need to work on your fear, because it's holding you back from really learning and just pushing forward and moving forward. And I thank God, because since we've been out here in the countryside, like, I've never got into a situation where, I mean, yes, I have neighbours and friends close by, but I've never been in a situation where it's like, oh, one of the girls had an accident, I need to rush to the hospital. But that's the thing. Now I, at least feel a bit more empowered, like, oh, I can get in the car and I can put into first gear, second, third, fourth, I can drive. So I can drive, but the fear is still there. But since failing the test, I've been driving more in our car, and that's definitely helped me to build more confidence, little by little. So yeah, fear. I'm fed up of fear. Pray for me on that, and I'm just ready to get over it. The second thing is the need for affirmation. My driving instructor, he was lovely, he was good, a Christian guy even. And it's funny because even at one point with the fear, he looked at me and he was like, aren't you a child of God? Like, he kind of had to ask me, and I'm just like, oh, shame. I am a child of God. Like, why am I this scared? And I remember being in the lesson sometimes thinking, oh yeah, like, I did that gear change really well. Like, look at me, I'm doing my little thing. And I'm thinking, why is he not bigging me up? And then, you have to say to yourself, well, do you come to the driving lesson for affirmation or to learn the skill of driving? So that's something it showed me. Like, my love language is words of affirmation. I like to affirm and be affirmed, but I'm still hankering after the affirmation in a way that's not necessary. I need to affirm myself, you know what I mean? Affirm myself in who I am as God's child and who I am, Charla, And it's funny because as I was thinking of this, I remembered years ago hearing Cat Williams say in a very colourful way about how it's esteem of yourself, you know what I mean? He was saying it in a very colourful and frank, straightforward way. But even though he said it in that raw way, I was like, Cat Williams is right. It's called self-esteem. So it's showing me, like, I need to affirm myself. And my husband even said to me, like, regarding the fear as well, write verses down, encourage yourself. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So if I'm already, like, affirming myself, believing that I have the ability, believing that, God is going to protect me, then I don't have to come with all this fearfulness and anxiety to situations, And that kind of brings me into the third thing that, the driving lessons and failing reminded me, is that I have so much negative self-talk. I thought that I was, in a better place with it, but I've seen where, okay, you're still talking to yourself quite negatively, so work on that. So yeah, that is where I am at. But I must say, what I'm proud of myself, the two things I'm proud of in particular, I'm proud of the fact that I'm driving more regularly now and I've got more confidence on the road. We haven't put the next test yet, but I will do that ASAP. And my girls are watching me learn a new skill. And that feels good as well, even though the other day I was doing some reading with my oldest, Serafina, and she didn't get something and she said, I failed. And I realized, oh, shame. She's saying that because the other day when I was driving with my husband, I didn't get something right. And I said, oh, I failed now. I've just failed. So it's showing me, like, be conscious of what you're showing the girls, your attitude to learning, because they're learning new skills, the reading, writing, and all these things. And I'm telling them, be positive, work on yourself, keep on trying. So they're watching me like, literally, like, does mommy do as she says when she's learning a new skill? So I'm proud of myself that I'm learning, getting more confident bit by bit, and that the girls are watching me. And there was a part of me that had envisioned coming on YouTube and doing the video like, yeah, I passed with a certificate and this and that. But I realized, if that's part of the cancer of social media, isn't it? The fact that we're always only coming with the best, and that's not how life works. And you know what has encouraged me as well, as I've been speaking to more people, a lot of people don't always pass their driving test the first time around. Some people I've spoken to, they said it to them 3 times, 5 times. One person, my husband, even told him it took them 8 times until they passed. So I'm not saying, this is no way saying, oh yeah, be satisfied with failure. No one wants to be satisfied with failure, but it's just, if you do fail, it doesn't have to stop you. So this video is for whoever, really. I hope it encourages you, but specifically for anyone like me who has avoided driving out of fear. Like, just go for it, because it's a life skill, it's necessary. And if unless there's a health issue or something holding you back from doing it, just put the money aside and go ahead and do it, and you'll feel so much better in yourself. Because really and truly, the only way to overcome fear is to put yourself in situations, uncomfortable situations, where you have to come out of your comfort zone. So the verse of encouragement today is Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18 to 19. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. And I think that is so beautiful, because even though for so many years I've been a fretful person, this is reminding me I don't always have to be fretful. I don't always have to be that person. I don't always have to talk to myself negatively. I can change. I believe that people can change if they're willing and humble and teachable. So I want to change. I want to change for the better, to be better for myself, for my husband, for my girls, so that's definitely one of my goals now, to the negative self-talk, the need for affirmation, and the fear. I have to work on those things. So ladies, I hope you have a wonderful day. Check out the other videos while you're here. Bye. Sharing the love of God, making a home, learning about the world, while teaching my own, singing songs of life while feeling free, getting organized and planning to achieve.